everybody, and welcome to another iStore Meet session. My name is Stefan, and today we are looking at productivity essentials for your Mac. It's really going to be a great one, guys. So stick around. You're going to learn quite a lot, and we have a lot to go through. So thank you, everybody, for joining on today's session. But before we get started, let's just go over a couple of things. First of all, this is an interactive session. So please feel free to chat to us in the chat line. Say hi. It'll be great to hear from all of you out there. We also have a Q&A section. So if you have any questions based on the session or throughout the session, please feel free to pop those questions in the Q&A, and I will answer all of those questions for you guys. And if you would like to become a host of your own on iStore Meets, please get in contact with our team by using the email you can currently see on your screens. If you have that passion for this amazing Apple ecosystem, we want to see what you can do with all of your amazing Apple products. So please get in contact, guys. And talking about sharing, we would love for you to also share on social media, on Facebook, on Instagram, what you have learned on iStore Meets. It'll be great to see what you have learned. And if you use that hashtag, iStore Meets, you can stand a chance in winning some amazing iStore prizes. So go on, guys, share away. We would love to see what you guys have learned on iStore Meets. And we also have a newly launched YouTube channel, iStore Meets, where you can go and view from multiple different iStore Meet sessions that we have done in the past and also future upcoming sessions. Right, that's it from the introduction. So let's kick off the session. Like I said, my name is Stefan, and today we are looking at productivity essentials for your Mac. So normally in the first session that we have, getting started with your Mac, that's just the basic setup of how we can use certain features on the Mac itself. But when it comes to productivity essentials, these are the tools that we want to be able to use every single day that really makes it worthwhile in using our Macs, being more productive when it comes to multitasking, getting things done from one app to the other application. So first of all, what I want to cover with you guys is Finder, where we find everything that's on our Mac, whether it's our files, our applications, whatever the case may be. Also, maybe our iCloud, where we can get everything done on our Mac. So to find Finder, it's right there on our dock. On the one side, that Macintosh face, the blue and the white faces all together. There is our Finder. Now, in Finder, like I said, that is where we have all of our file-based systems. On the one side, we have our file locations and our file layout, basically on how you want to view your file. It's all based on a personal preference in that sense. But what else can we do in Finder that really makes it worthwhile, especially when it comes to productivity? We all have so many different files, so we want to be able to quickly maybe have access to those files whenever we need them. So we create multiple folders to have access to them. But each time you open Finder, I don't know whether or maybe one of you have noticed that when I opened Finder, I immediately went into my iCloud Drive. I didn't go into maybe my recents or another place, because you can set where you want your Finder to be opened at. To do this, all you do is you go to your menu bar right there on top where it says Finder, and you click on Finder. Then we can go down to where it says Preferences. We click on that one, and then I can go and change where I want my files of my Finder to open. So right there at the bottom, New Finder Window, Show, and I can click on that to decide which one needs to open every single time I open Finder. So I've set mine to iCloud Drive, but you maybe want to have your documents, so you can set that one, or maybe your desktop, whatever it is. You can choose where you want to have your device or Finder application open in that regard. It's really great. But the nice thing about this, guys, especially if you're going to have multiple windows or even when you want to create folders. So first of all, how do we create a folder inside of Finder? All you do, you go into your main Finder window, and then you're going to right click. So right click is with two fingers at the same time on the screen itself. And there we have it. First option, new folder that I can immediately create from that point. And you can even go and rename it anything you want. So I'm just going to call this one Training. Perfect. So there is a new folder. And then I can easily go and take any file into that folder by simply clicking and dragging. So I'm just going to take the screen recording that I have right here. I can click with one finger and drag with the other one into that folder, and I can easily move it just like that. But maybe you want to be able to move it from different file locations from one to the other one. So that is now where the productivity part is going to come in to really help all of you just be so much more productive on your device. So first of all, how to add a new window. So this all comes down to shortcuts on our keyboard. First of all, to create a new window, you can go about this two ways. Either you can right-click on the icon, the Finder icon that we have on the dock, and that will give you a couple of amazing options of what you can do inside of Finder. And one of those is to say new Finder window or a smart folder. But to quickly open a new Finder window, it's a shortcut on our keyboard. Now, when we're talking about shortcuts, guys, it's all to do with command, because we're commanding our device to do something. There we go. We had our productivity essentials for Mac, our poll that was just finished. So we had people from Gauteng here, from Western Cape, from the Eastern Cape, wonderful, and even international. That is fantastic. And a lot of you are using the MacBook Air, the MacBook Pro, and even the Mac Mini. Wow, that is really great, guys. So thanks, Alex, for sharing that. It's really great that all of you are on this session today. But like I said, how can we open another Finder window? Whereby using a shortcut. On our keyboard, you hold Command in, and you just press in, Command in. For some odd reason, it's now not giving me my window. There we go. Yes, awesomeness. I just opened another window for Finder. So now I can easily take files from one location. Maybe I want to go into my documents for this particular one, and then I want to take one of those or two of those documents into another location. Then I can easily take it between those two windows. But let's make this a little bit more interesting, shall we? In Finder, we can also have different tabs. Now, if you don't know what a tab is, in your web browser, normally we talk about, we have multiple tabs open, multiple windows or multiple websites open. Those are referred to as tabs. Now, the same thing can be applied inside of Finder. We want to open another tab, and you can allocate a different file location to that particular tab. So how do we go about this? Again, it's based on a shortcut. Command T for this time around, and that is for tab. Command T, and I'm opening another tab because I've set my Finder to open as iCloud Drive. So now I have two iCloud Drive tabs, but I can easily go with this one and say, no, I would rather have this one for my documents. And I can open another one, Command T, open another one, and I have that one maybe as my desktop. So currently, yes, my desktop is open. And then I can allocate certain content directly on my desktop as well. But how do I then move content from one tab to another tab, you might ask? As simple as dragging. Let me show you guys. I'm going to take this training folder that I created earlier on, and then I'm going to click and drag, and I'm simply going to take it to desktop. Hold it there for a couple of seconds, and there it is. It just immediately jumped to that tab. Let go, and it's going to ask me, because I'm moving it out of iCloud Drive, it's first going to ask permission. Do you want to move this? I'm just going to say yes, move it. And it will be moved onto my desktop. You immediately notice right there on top that that folder is now allocated on my desktop. It's that simple, guys, just to be so much more productive, moving files around from one location to the other location. It's really, really amazing what we can do. But some of the other amazing things that Finder also has to offer is when it comes to file management. We all have so many different files on our devices. You might think, okay, yes, Stefan, you are lucky because I don't see that many files on your device. Well, you don't want to see my personal device. I've got so many different files on my personal profile and my personal device. And all of you might have the same thing. But when it comes to maybe getting our file management going a little bit better, we want to also tag our files. So I don't know who of you have noticed. Some of my files here have got a little color circle next to them. That is because I have tagged that particular file. So what it boils down to is you have so many different files, and some of them may be ending up having the same sort of name for that particular file. So how do we change, or maybe having or finding out that is the same file that needs to go into that particular tag? Maybe you have all of your banking statements and you want to save them in one location. Instead of creating a folder, you just want to tag all of those particular files. But how do we go about tagging files? Again, we are going to go to our menu bar right there on top, and click on Finder, back to Preferences. And this time round, we are going to click on Tags. There's all of my tags that I currently have on my device. And there is that beautiful plus sign. It means that, yes, you can even go and create your own tags. Now, that is absolutely brilliant. So I can click on that and I can go and name this anything. Maybe I want to have, I'm banking with ABSA. So I'm putting this as my ABSA tag. Wonderful. And then I can even allocate a different color option there as well. Gives me that drop down and I can easily, for some reason, there we go. Red. I want to make that one red, as ABSA is known to have that red color. So I can easily recolor and rename a tag right here, creating that. So then from there, let me just close that window. I can go into my documents, as an example, select certain files. Let's maybe select multiple files. So to select multiple files, you hold Shift or Command in, and you can select multiple files. And then I right click on those two files, and right there, I get so many different options, maybe open with or move to bin, get information based on this particular file, rename, whatever it is. And a little bit further down, there's my tags. I can easily tag them according to that particular tag. But now if I select red, it means that they are now under my red tag. Now that is not really going to be good for me in that sense. I want them under my ABSA tag. So how do I tag them according to my ABSA tag? All you do, you select those files once again. This time around, right there on your menu bar, on your Finder, you have a couple of options, and there's tags. I can then easily say, no, ABSA needs to be part of that one as well. And then they will have two colored tags so that when I click on that one, immediately I will have access to all of those amazing, amazing files that I have tagged according to that particular color. So it's that simple, guys. All you do, you just go to that particular file. Let's maybe take, I want to tag a folder as well. Maybe this one, ASW content. All I do is I go to the tag and I go and select the tag, and then it will get tagged according to that particular tag that I have allocated towards it. As simple as that. A wonderful way just to be so much more productive on your device. But one of the great things that we also want to do is, like I mentioned, we have so many different files inside of Finder that sometimes we find it difficult to see which file is which, especially depending on the type of view that you have. So currently, yes, I'm on my main icon view. We also have a list view where it just provides us with so much more information based on what type of file it is, because it gives us the date modified, the kind of file it is, the size of that file, whatever. We also have our column view, where we can view different file options, as well as our gallery view. But depending on your own personal preference, we have so many different files. And some of them, like I said, has maybe the same type of name. So you struggle to know exactly whether that is the correct file that you are looking for. One of the wonderful things that's built in on our Macs, guys, is to be able to view a file without opening it. This is where the magic happens. All I'm going to do, I'm going to select a file by clicking on it once. Click once, and then I'm going to press spacebar. And there we go. I get a preview, or as we refer to it, quick look inside the file to see whether it is the correct file that I'm looking for. And the beauty is I can even scroll on the inside with 2 fingers, swiping up and down on my trackpad to see whether this is the correct file. No, this is not the correct file. I'm just going to either press spacebar again, or I can close it right there in the top part. I'm going to press spacebar and it goes back to where it was. Maybe this is the correct file. Press spacebar. Yes, now that might look a little bit more the same to the file that I'm looking for. Maybe it's not that one. Or let's go into documents. Maybe it's the Japanese tea ceremony that I'm looking for because I need to send this to one of my colleagues. Yes, that is definitely the correct file that I am looking for. There's that teapot that I wanted to share with one of my colleagues. Isn't that great, guys? So you can easily view any file by just pressing spacebar. First, you select it by clicking on it once, and then you press spacebar, and it will open in a preview. It's really a wonderful, wonderful way just to be more productive, moving from one file into the other one. And the great thing about it, it even works with videos. So if you want to quickly view a video, press spacebar, and there you see, it just goes. And the great thing is it plays sound along with it as well. That is how great it is. The same with music files, anything that you have in that regard. And when you press that spacebar, I'm just going to press spacebar on this video once again, you can immediately see right there on the top, there's a couple of options that is waiting for us. We can maybe rotate this particular file immediately from there, and we can share it directly from this point. And because this is a video, and that's the reason why I wanted to show you guys this, is because I can trim it right from this point by clicking on that, and then I can decide, no, maybe it needs to be a little bit shorter. I want to capture him right there as he's in the air where it needs to start. But it all depends on what you need to do. But that is how easy and amazing this quick look is. I'm just going to click there on done to make sure that this video is absolutely perfect. But that is how amazing this really, or this particular feature is, guys. Go on and try it out and see how much more productive you will be in the long run. But because we have this quick look option based on all those amazing things that we can do inside a Finder, if we double click on a file, we need to be able to do a couple of things. So we have different files, whether it's maybe a pages file, the numbers, Keynote, or even if you're using Microsoft Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. To normally open those files, we would double click to open and start working on those files. One of the wonderful things about Apple and about our Macs is because all of us, especially in this day and age with climate change in mind, we want to go green. We don't want to print out anything in this regard. And this is where the Mac is going to be a lifesaver for all of you. I'm going to show you a wonderful application and feature that's built in on our Macs. You don't have to pay for it because it's pre-installed. You can use it anytime you want. We can fill out a document, sign it, and maybe add some shapes and things like that on the inside of any file. And the same goes with quick look. But let me show you guys what I mean when it comes to editing and signing a document. So this is a PDF document. So it works with a PDF document in this sense. If I double click on this PDF document, here we go. It opens in preview. Now, preview is our built-in software so that we can view PDFs or images, regardless of what it is. But preview allows us to do a couple of amazing, amazing things. Let me just move my camera out of the way right there. As you can see, I've got a couple of options right there on top. I can zoom in or zoom out. I can share it. I can even highlight certain sections by clicking on the highlighting tool. And I can even rotate everything directly from that point. But I'm looking for this icon. That is our markup toolbar. And like I said, guys, we all want to go green. We want to be able to fill out every single document and things like that. Instead of having to print out a couple of pages, signing it, filling it out, scanning it back in, and only then emailing it off, we can do everything right here inside of preview. If I click on that markup circle, so it's a circle with a pen inside, I click on that, and there's all my markup toolbars immediately, or tools available right from there. I can create shapes by adding different shapes immediately from that point. And I can even add text boxes. Now, sometimes we do have those PDF documents that we can immediately start filling out because it is annotation friendly. So this one in particular is annotation friendly. So I can just click there and I can immediately start filling out my name from that point. Look at my spelling. There we go. But if I don't have a particular document that's annotation friendly, I can just go and drop a text box. Click on the text box option. It's right there. My occupation is I'm a trainer. There we go. But now it's red. I don't want this red. So I want to change the color for this. But first of all, I need to select it. So let's just click outside of that particular box. Click on it once again. And right there where it says AA, I click on that and I can change the color for this particular text. And I can even change the font. I can add a different font if I want to, and I can decrease the size because it is a little bit maybe too large for what I want to do. And then just simply drag it into place. That's brilliant. It's really a great way just to fill out a physical PDF document on your device. But let's take it to a whole new level. We need to sign this. And now you might be thinking, okay, Stefan, now you have to print it out because you need to physically sign this document. No, I don't need to. To be honest with you guys, I can't remember the last time I had to sign a document. Maybe in the chat line, just tell us, do you guys actually make use of this feature that you can sign a document digitally? Have you ever signed a document digitally on a Mac or even your iPhone or an iPad? Just put it down in the chat. I would love to hear from all of you, just so you know whether you have come across this feature before. But I want to sign this document on my Mac, so I'm going to scroll all the way to the bottom. Here we go. Signature right there that I need to add. Now, how do I add my signature? Right there next to text box, there's a sign option as well. Now, that is where it really gets interesting. Click on that, and now I have options of how I want to physically sign this document. First of all, trackpad. I can make my signature directly here on the trackpad. I click here to begin, and then I can simply make my signature. I'm just going to make an X for this time round. To release my trackpad, because if I'm going to use my finger now again, it's going to keep on signing because I'm currently using my trackpad as a signing tool. So I just press escape so I can get my mouse functionality back from this point. And then I can just click on done. Just going to click cancel just for now. And I'm going to show you just the other one as well. Camera. Now that is where it really gets interesting. I can use my camera to sign. But how do you do this? On a piece of paper, you make your $1 million signature. And then you hold that signature up against the camera. Your camera will capture that signature and make a digital format for you that you can then use to sign. There's another option as well for some of you. If you are on one of our latest software options, either macOS Mojave, macOS Catalina, or the latest software macOS Big Sur, you might have a third or a fourth option, iPhone or iPad, that it will hand over onto those devices that you can physically sign on that device, and it will create your signature on your Mac. Magical, absolutely magical. But I'm just going to use the trackpad. Let me just go and make that signature again. Right there, perfect. Click on done, and there's my signature. Just click on it, drag it into place, and you can enlarge it or make it smaller with those 4 blue bubbles. And I am ready to send off this document. Isn't this absolutely phenomenal? The technology that we have to our disposal, guys. I can't even say how amazing it is. Like I said, I haven't signed a document physically for so long because I have these tools available to me on my iPad or on my Mac. I can sign anything. I don't have to print it out by wasting paper or wasting ink or wasting time filling it out. I can do everything right here on my Mac. It's absolutely the greatest feature that is built in on our devices. It's really wonderful. And the best part of all is, if you created your signature and you go back to sign, that signature will still be there because it gets saved on the device. It's really a wonderful way just to be able to be more productive when it comes to filling out and signing PDFs. Cool. Right, let me just close off that one. There we go. Okay, so some of the built-in software that we have on our devices is we have our iWork suite. Now, what is iWork? Means that, yes, we can create documents, Excel spreadsheets, as well as presentations directly here on our Mac. And Apple gives you the software, which is Pages, Numbers, and Keynote, and they provide it to you for free. Yes, you're more than welcome to use Microsoft Word, Excel, and PowerPoint, but Apple gives you that software, and there's a wonderful feature built in on these particular files or these particular applications that really makes using those apps so worthwhile. Let me show you guys. I'm going to go into my Pages documents. Where's my Pages? There we go. There's my Pages folder. I'm creating a guidebook, but I've been working on this guidebook for such a long time. And sometimes, well, I found it quite often that, yes, when I make a change and then I maybe delete it later on and then carry on from that point, saving, coming back to it. Hence, I'm going back and forth all the time. But now the nice thing about this is let's maybe go and create something for this one. So let's create a next chapter. Let's maybe call this one Handoff. There we go. And saving and going back. Wonderful. I can see that we have something in the chat here. Oh, maybe something, I'm not quite sure exactly what that is. Alex, if you can maybe attend to that one. It's just an email address. Not sure exactly why that email address just suddenly popped in, but yes, Let's quickly see if we can sort that out. Okay, but yes, now I've created now something in my Pages document, but now I'm quickly going to save it. I can either use that shortcut Command S to save, or you can just go to File and say Save. But for the next one, I'm just going to use the shortcut. So saving and going back. Saving a file and then seeing if we can go back and revert. That is the one that I'm actually looking for. Let's save again. Command S. Just saving this document. But let's add another one by changing this image maybe. So let's quickly click on that icon there because I can immediately access my images right from this point, and I can add an image right from my library. As easy as that. If you have any of your photographs right in your Photos application, if you have an image right there, just click on it and you can change it right from the get-go. Let's maybe add this particular one right there. Just quickly see, maybe it just needs to be downloaded. Yes, it's just downloading, and there we go. As simple as that, it gets added into the document. And let me just wait for it to add. There we go, slowly but surely. There we go, awesomeness. And then I'm just going to save again, Command S to save. Now, this is where the magic begins. As I mentioned, I've been working on this document for quite a long time. But now I want to go back. There's something that I've added, but I've deleted it in the meantime. In the process of a couple of weeks, I have deleted that content, but I want to get that content back. How do I get it back from this point? I go all the way up to my menu bar where it says File. I click on File. I can create a new document, open all of that information based on that drop-down menu index option that we get. But one of those options is to say revert to. And I'm going to say browse all versions. Now watch what happens, guys. This is going to be a trip back in time. Browse all versions. And there we go. This is my current document. And on the side, just get my camera out of the way again. On the side, you can see that, yes, I've started working on this file in July already. And there's all the dates that I worked on this particular file, plus the time that I worked on it. So I can easily go back in time to say that, no, I want to have the file when it was maybe in a previous version of that file. Mind-blowing to know that I don't have to worry about losing content. I can go back to what it was previously. If I maybe deleted something, you had a photograph there and then you deleted that photograph from the document, and then you think, no, I actually want that photograph back. You can revert back to a previous version of the document by just reverting back to that particular document. Isn't this wonderful, guys? So if I didn't want to change that photograph, I can easily just revert back to a couple of minutes by saying restore that option, and it will take me back to that previous option. And there we go. That image is back there. I didn't change anything. I just reverted back to that file. It's a lifesaver, guys, and it works in Pages, it works in Numbers, and it works in Keynote, that you can revert back to a previous document that you have worked on for such a long time. Maybe you're a writer or a journalist and you keep on adding and taking out, and you just maybe want to go back to a previous one. This will be a lifesaver for you when it comes to browsing previous versions of a document. It's really, really great. Cool. Let me just close that one. Wonderful. Now, one of the great things that we have on our Macs is to quickly find anything that's available to us. Now, that feature is Spotlight. Where is Spotlight? It's either on our menu bar, which is that magnifying glass that we see right there. We can click on it anytime to open Spotlight Search, or you can use the shortcut Command Space Bar. So a quick one, Command Space, and you're inside Spotlight, just like that. It's really, really a great way. And like I said, inside a Finder, Spotlight, we can search for anything because this is our search engine for our Mac. You can search for whatever it is that your heart desires. If it's on the Mac, Spotlight will find it for you. So let's put it to the test. I'm just going to type out the word training. There we go. And now it's searching for all of the words or all of those documents, files, folders, you name it, with the word training on the inside, and it will give me those options right there. So right there on top, I have a presentation with the word training on the inside. I even have, maybe I want to do a web search based on training, training shoes, training camp, whatever it is. And also, it gives me a couple of other options. Mails, anything that has the word training in a mail, I can search directly from there. Spreadsheets, PDF documents, you name it, anything to do with that word. Even that folder I created earlier on, I can easily find it right here in Spotlight. And the beauty of it, guys, is that even us as adults, we sometimes come across words that we don't know the meaning of. We're doing some web searching or some web browsing, and we come across that word, and we're like, ooh, what on earth does that word mean? I mean, even currently I'm reading a book, and some of those high-end words I'm struggling to understand. So this is where my Mac is a lifesaver, because I can simply go and type out that word and click on definition, and it gives me a breakdown definition of what that word means. It's a great tool to use. But what else can we use Spotlight for? Maybe you want to just quickly calculate something. You can definitely do that. So let's put it to the test, shall we? Let's maybe say 568 divided by 239 times 7,459 plus, or maybe times 634. There we go. I didn't have to do anything else. Spotlight did all the work for me. That answer I would never have been able to come up in my head. But there it is. It provides me with that basic information. It's a great tool to use. Or maybe you want to convert something, whether it's a unit conversion, you can even do that. What is one, let's maybe say ounces. I can find out what 1 ounce is, as well as maybe a currency. What is 1 USD for the United States dollar? Currently, it's 14 Rand 82 cents. It just provides me with that amazing, amazing information right here in Spotlight. I didn't have to go to my web browser to do a Google search for it. I can just go into Spotlight and it gives me that information straight off the bat. It's a wonderful way just to be so much more productive. So remember that shortcut, guys. It's either clicking on that magnifying glass or that shortcut command space bar on your keyboard, and you can easily access Spotlight Search. What's the other way that we can be more productive in terms of searching and getting information from our devices? And also maybe when it comes to performing tasks, we have a built-in assistant. I know that, yes, we all would love to have a personal assistant of sorts, but our devices has got that, a digital assistant. Who am I referring to, guys? I'm talking about the one and only Siri that's built in on our devices. It's not only just available on our iPhones or iPads, our Macs has got it as well, especially if you have those Macs with the T2 chip. It allows you to use those magic words. Not going to say too loud, otherwise all my devices will go off right here in front of me. But there's a couple of ways that we can access Siri right from this point. If you've enabled Siri, Siri will be right there on top on your menu bar. But you can have Siri also on your dock if you selected it in settings like that. And the third way to access Siri is if you hold Command Space in at the same time, and then Siri will populate on the screen. So it's not just that quick one. So be careful. Quick one is Spotlight Search. If you hold it in, Siri will populate on the screen. But like I said, you can ask Siri for so much just to perform certain tasks. It's really great. Maybe I want to set a reminder, because this morning when I got to work and I poured myself my first cup of coffee, I realized, oh, I ran out of milk this morning. I need to be reminded that I need to go and get some milk when I go home after today's done. So let's ask Siri to set that reminder for me. Set a reminder at 5 o'clock, go and buy milk.
Okay, added.
There we go. Siri added that event for me, or that reminder for me. It's really great. And I can even have events. Maybe a friend of yours phones you up and asks you, okay, are you busy this coming Saturday afternoon? Maybe we want to go out for coffee or for some pizza. So let's find out from Siri. Siri, do I have anything planned on my calendar this coming Saturday afternoon?
Yes, you have an appointment for Saturday in the afternoon.
Okay, so I'm busy from 12 until 3, but after that, I'm definitely available. So I phone my friend up and ask him, yes, will 4 o'clock be okay, or 4:30 or 5 o'clock even, just so we know that, yes, we can spend enough time together before curfew hits. So let's schedule that from 5 o'clock. Schedule an event on Saturday afternoon from 5 o'clock to 7 o'clock, pizza with friends.
It's in your calendar for Saturday from 1700 hours to 1900 hours.
Just like that. It's so amazing that we can do all of these things by just asking Siri to perform certain tasks for us, or just get basic information. If you want to have that currency conversion, you can do that by just asking Siri, what is $1 in Rand?
The answer is 14 Rand and 67
There you
cents.
go. It gives me all of that basic information. Or I want to open an application. Open my notes application. And there we go. It will launch my notes app right from that point. It is such a great tool to use, guys. So definitely go on and see how Siri can just enrich your life, just to make your life just so much easier by getting tasks performed on a daily basis. Right. So that is how beautiful, beautiful it is. Cool. But let me show you a great feature that you might also think, nah, what can I show in this particular email or mail application, because it's such a boring application? No, it's not. It's a wonderful app because we can do so much in it. So let me go into my mail and show you what you can do inside of mail. So yes, we have our basic layout of the mail application, and we receive so many mails every single day. But I don't know whether you've ever noticed in your mail application that we have something right there, smart mailboxes. But before I create or talk to you guys about smart mailboxes, let me show you something really amazing. If I want to, that car insurance that we were filling out earlier on, that one over there, if I now want to email that, how do I go about this? Normally, I would have to be inside of my mail. I would then go and create a new mail and then start the mail off. Maybe I want to send it to iStore Meets or anybody like that. There we go. And I just put this car insurance. There we go. And then in my body now, I need to attach that document. So I can easily click on that one and then attach the document directly from there. But first I need to go and search for it, which also takes up time. But because I have my Finder open already with the document, let me just don't save there. I have my Finder open. There's the document. Right from that point, I can share it, or watch this. This is really a great trick that you can use on your Mac, guys. Click and drag the file onto your mail icon on your dock. Right there, release, and it creates a mail with the attachment immediately, right there. You don't have to do anything else. All you now need to do is go and have the mail account right from that point, and then car insurance. There we go. Perfect. And the beauty of it, now that we have that document right there, is now I realize, oh, I haven't signed it yet. I filled it out, but I forgot to sign it. Don't worry, you don't have to now go back to Finder, sign it, fill it out and all of that and reattach it. You can do all of that right here in Mail, which makes it absolutely brilliant. Take your mouse, hover it over the document. There's that little drop down arrow. Click on it, select markup, and we're back in Quick Look, where we can immediately then sign the document right from that point. All my markup tools are available right there on top, that I can easily go and say, I need to sign it. Obviously, yes, I deleted that signature earlier on, but it will still be there if you keep your signature on your device. Now, isn't this absolutely brilliant, guys? You can do so much with this particular feature. Let me just get all of my stuff out of the way so I can close it. I'm just going to say cancel from that point. Don't save. Awesomeness. So that's how easy it is. You can attach any document. So maybe you just received that document from a mail and you need to then send it off. Just quickly attach it via mail, go into that markup option, fill it out, and you're really ready to send it off. It's really a great way just to go about it. But we were actually going about that one over there, smart mailboxes, because we also, again, receive so many different mails, and it's sometimes difficult to find it because we keep on scrolling through hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of different mail just to find that one mail that we are looking for, maybe that one bank statement that you want to get hold of, but you simply just cannot find it. This is where smart mailboxes will be a lifesaver for you guys. You go to smart mailboxes and you click on that plus sign. And now we can decide what type of mailbox it needs to be. I'm just going to call this one training once again. There we go. And now that is just the name of the smart mailbox, but it needs to contain messages to match all or any of the following conditions. It needs to be from, but you can change any of that particular options that's there as well. It needs to contain or does not contain, depending on your own personal preference. And then you put an email address. So you can either put a person's email address, or you can just maybe say, yes, it needs to be from @icloud.com, or like I mentioned, a person's email address. And the moment, and yes, it needs to include from bin and from the sent items as well. Now, if I click on OK, all of those mails will immediately populate right there. As you can see, I've got quite a few with @icloud.com that immediately will populate in that smart mailbox. It's a wonderful way just to be so much more productive on your device, creating that mailbox and knowing that the moment you receive a mail with that particular naming towards it, whether it's at the end or even a full-on email address, the moment you add it to that one, it will go to that particular smart mailbox. And if you don't want to have it anymore, you can just simply go and delete it directly from that point. Okay, you erase, delete items, definitely not, but you can delete the mailbox directly from that point. But don't worry, you won't lose any of your mails, because your mails will still be inside of inbox, because the smart mailbox is just a mirror image of everything that's inside of your inbox. It's really, really wonderful. Cool. But now let's take our devices to a whole new level, shall we? When it comes to multitasking, it really is what embodies the productivity side of our Macs. I'm going to put it in a scenario of sorts, just so we can get the gist of what it is all about. First of all, yes, I want to go down to Cape Town, just maybe with some friends. So I'm looking for hotels in Cape Town. There we go. Cool. So I'm searching inside of Safari for hotels in Cape Town. But then, yes, I need to have my mail open as well, because I'm communicating by sending links and all of that to my friend who's going with me on this trip. But I want to have maps open as well, because we are thinking of going on a road trip, driving down to Cape Town. So I definitely want to plan where we want to stop and planning our route as we go down to Cape Town. I have my calendar open, definitely, because I need to know when we are going on this particular trip. I have my reminders, because there's a couple of reminders that I need to maybe be reminded of based on this particular one or this particular trip that I'm about to take, and have my music open as well, because I love listening to music whilst I'm working. But now that I have all of these windows or all of these applications open, now it's starting to look a little bit cluttered on my desktop. Everything is on top of the other one. There's a much easier way to see all of my files open at the same time. On the dock, right there at the bottom, you will notice that some of my apps has got that black dot underneath, meaning that yes, that application is open or it's running in the background. So I can easily go and click on any one of those apps, and it will immediately jump to that particular application. But if I want to have a view of all my applications that's open on my desktop, how do I go about this? It's a gesture that we have on our trackpad. It's called mission control. Now it sounds like I'm about to launch into space or something like that. 3 fingers on your trackpad and you swipe up and watch what happens. There we go. I can now have that bird's eye view of everything that's open on my desktop. I have my mail right there. I've got my Safari. I've got my calendar. I've got my maps. I've got my reminders, and I've got my music right from that point. It's really great to know that I can easily just switch between any one of these particular applications. If you just take your mouse over it, it will get that blue circle around it, and I can easily switch just like that. It's quite nice to do it like so. But let's take it to a whole new level. If I want to maybe go into full screen, so let me just get my Safari back to the front. There we go. For this time, we have our 3 buttons right there on the side of the window. The red one to close an application. The yellow one to minimize or to dock, because if I click on it, it takes it down to the dock and I can easily access it from that point once again. And then that green one speaks for itself. It takes it into full screen. Now, did you notice what happens, guys? When I take it into full screen, my dock and my menu bar disappeared. So how do I get those particular features or those parts back onto my main screen? Just take your mouse all the way down and your dock will rise. The same with your menu bar. Take it all the way to the top, menu bar drops down. But now if I go into that mission control, 3-finger swipe up on my trackpad, now that application is on my dashboard right there on top, that I can see all of my full screen applications in one place. So I can easily take any one of these apps also into full screen, either by clicking on that green button, or I can just from this point click and drag right there to the top, release, it gives me that plus sign, and now my mail is also inside of full screen. It's really, really great. I can easily take it out of full screen by just taking it there. There's that little icon right there, that 2 arrows pointing together, click on it, and it will release those applications back onto my main desktop. But we're talking about multitasking, doing more than one thing at the same time. So let's do it. If you take your mouse and you hover over that green button, it gives you options. Either enter full screen or tile window to the left. That's interesting. Click on that. And then it takes half of my screen. And then it's asking me, okay, which other application would I like to take into that other half? I want to take my Safari. There we go. Split screen multitasking, which allows you to be productive by moving content from one app to another application. And you can do exactly the same with Finder. Any application allows this, guys. Yes, maybe the application does not allow it, but that all depends on the developer, whether they will allow their app to actually do this. But across the board, you can go into multitasking split screen like so. It's a wonderful way to be more productive. So let's maybe say that I want to now create a mail because I want to send this link to one of my friends. I can just easily click and drag that particular link from my Safari into my mail, just like that. It's really great. Or maybe it's an image that I need to share. So I'm just going to jump into my images right here on the side, click on that first one, and then just select the image, click and drag to the side, and it's attached. Isn't that amazing, guys? Any application, maybe you're busy working on a document and you have Safari open on the other side. You can easily maybe copy and paste anything from one side to the other side. It is so great and such a beautiful feeling to know that I can easily multitask from one to the other application. Really, really wonderful what we can do. Okay, but let me just go out of this one. No, I don't want to save this particular email address. And now because I'm in that split screen, how do I get it out? I can either go up to my menu bar and take one of the 2 apps out of split screen by clicking on the green, or I can close any one of the 2. But let me just exit my split screen. And then my other application has now taken preference into that split screen. But what does full screen actually make so amazing? Because some of our applications actually functions better when it's in that full screen capability. So let me just add all of these applications quickly into that full screen capabilities and then show you guys one amazing, amazing feature that we also have on our devices. Perfect. Let me leave reminders right there. So now that I know that all of those other apps are in full screen, I can easily get to them. Yes, by either clicking on those applications on my dock, or I can use 3 fingers and swipe to the side. And then I can browse in between all of those full screen applications. Isn't this amazing? It really is such a wide spectrum of what you can do on your device when it comes to those particular gestures. But talking about gestures, what other gestures do we have that makes it really so worthwhile in using our Macs? If you're in Safari and you're busy viewing something, so I have been into my all previously on, and then I clicked on images. But if I want to then go back to that previous page, 2 fingers, I'm in Safari, now 2 fingers, and I swipe to the side. And I can easily go back to any previous page that I had open. There we go, just like that. Or maybe you go into a link and you quickly want to go back to that previous link that you had open from that point. Let me just wait for my internet to just open it. There we go, awesomeness. And I want to go back to my search, just 2 fingers, swipe to the side, and I'm back to where I was, just like that. But there are so many other gestures that we have on our devices, guys. Let me show you where to find all of them. If we jump into system preferences, all of our settings for our devices are linked here that you can easily see. Your Apple ID information, your general information, desktop and screensaver, dock, mission control, all of that. Siri, all of that can be accessed right from there. If you have a device with Touch ID, you can set up your Touch ID and you can add up to 5 fingers inside of Touch ID. It's really, really great. Or maybe you want to add another user, you can do so from that point as well. But I want to show you where to find the gestures. So you're going to click on Trackpad, and Trackpad shows you all of those amazing, amazing gestures. Whether you maybe want to know how to do that, right click, 2 fingers at the same time, it actually shows you. And it shows you a little video as well on how to do it. Scrolling and zooming, how to do all of those particular gestures and more gestures. Maybe you forgot how did you go into that mission control where you see everything from a bird's eye view. Oh yes, 3-finger swipe up, that's correct. That's how you do it. It's easy to get used to all of these amazing gestures, guys. And I promise you, if you master the trackpad with all of these gestures, you'll never want to use a mouse ever again. That's a promise. Anyways, let's just quickly show you one last amazing, amazing thing that you can do on your Mac that really makes it worthwhile. Talking about iCloud, but more specifically, collaboration. Now, I have a document inside of my Finder that I'm sharing with a couple of colleagues of mine, this employee schedule and rates. If I go into this file, it will open numbers with this particular file. But now, before I show you all the great things based on collaboration, if you are wanting to collaborate with maybe a Windows user, somebody who's using Microsoft, you can do this. You don't have to have an Apple device to be able to do this, guys. You can use it on any device. Right there in the top corner, you will see that there's a collaborate option. If I click on it, you will see that, yes, there's a couple of people linked this document. Alex, who's actually on the line currently with me, he's also collaborating with me on this document. It's really, really wonderful. I can send this link to somebody else who maybe needs to have access to this document as well. I can either mail them or send it via email, copy the link or airdrop it to them as well. And then they can start collaborating with us. If it's a Windows user, they will have a web browser where they can collaborate on this particular document. It's wonderful to know that it's across the board that you can collaborate on any document just from your device. But now the nice thing about it is that if I go maybe and add something, let's just add my own name. So I'm just going to say Stefan.c, and yes, I am a trainer. I can easily then add all of my information right there, and then Alex will see those changes on his side. And the moment he adds any of his information, there we go. Alex has just joined. Now watch this, guys. I'm going to put my hands up. I'm not going to do anything. Let me see what Alex does, because he's going to change a couple of things on his side. He's literally somewhere in Joburg. There we go, 15, 7. It's great to know that we are collaborating with one another on this document. He's somewhere else located in Joburg or even in Pretoria, or maybe he's in Cape Town or even across the borders overseas. He can still collaborate with me on this document because we are sharing it. And that is the beauty of iCloud collaboration, guys. I can't even begin to tell you how great these features are. Now, we've covered quite a lot. We've spoken about how to maybe add a new Finder folder or a tab inside of Finder. We've also spoken about preview, how to quickly view a file by pressing spacebar. You view that file directly from that point. And when you are in preview, you can fill out a PDF document and even sign it directly on your Mac. You don't have to print out one piece of paper. I've shown you how to open pages and how to maybe revert back to a previous version. So you've worked on that document for quite a long time and you're reverting to a previous version of that. I've shown you Spotlight to search anything on your Mac and how Siri can really assist you in just performing certain tasks on your device, and show you in Mail how to quickly attach a document to Mail by dragging it from Finder onto the Mail icon, and it creates the mail, and then you can even mark up that particular document by either filling it out or signing it, and creating smart mailboxes and multitasking. That it really is such a great way just to go about your device when it comes to working from one app to the other application, and some other amazing gestures, and then finally collaboration. Guys, it's endless what we can do on our amazing Apple products. And each year it just gets better and better and better. And Apple will keep on adding more and more amazing features. The only thing that's left for me to say for this session is thank you. Thank you for joining me for this hour. It was great having you all online. If you have any questions, please put them in the Q&A. And I will answer all of those questions for you guys. Otherwise, you can go also onto our website to see if there's any other iStore Meet sessions that you are interested in. Maybe you want to know about how to use your iPad, productivity essentials for your iPad or your iPhone, or learn how to use Pages, Numbers, and Keynote. Maybe you want to create movies with iMovie or amazing music with GarageBand, or maybe you just want to see a hosted session of somebody who really loves using those amazing Apple devices and in that amazing Apple ecosystem that we have. Go onto our website, guys, www.istore.co.za/meets, and you can book for other amazing sessions. Have yourselves a wonderful afternoon. Stay safe, and we'll see each other on iStore Meets again real soon. Bye, everybody.